Hello and welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White. Problem state. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government denies subsidy return. NECO releases June-July 2023 SSCE results. Plus, Ronaldo's top army generals quit. Poland's top army generals quit ahead of key election. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. We begin the news with a report that the federal government has denied reintroducing the subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, amid the closure of many filling stations nationwide due to various challenges in the downstream oil sector. It also said the pockets of queues observed by motorists in petrol stations across the country stemmed from hiccups in product distribution from the south to the north, not a lack of supply. The announcement came in light of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) declaration that it would have gone bankrupt in June this year had it been President Tinubu did not hold subsidy on PMS in May. The Group Chief Executive Officer NNPCL Melekari told newsmen after an audience with the President at the Asa Rock Villa that fuel subsidy had not been returned. Meanwhile, NNPCL also announced that Nigeria would become a net exporter of refined petroleum products by next year. Its refineries. Meanwhile, the federal government has said that it will soon issue an order compelling airline Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, said the future in a meeting with airline operators in Abuja. Keyamo noted that the federal government will start implementing the provision of NCAA Act, stressing that most Nigerians do not know there is compensation for delay. The minister therefore urged the airline operators to maintain stable communication channels that enable passengers to get cancellation notices before their flight scheduled date. In the meantime, the federal government has warned Nigerian pilgrims against making illegal and unauthorized trips while in a Holy Land, following the ongoing conflict between the State of Israel and Hamas militant group, which has reportedly claimed hundreds of lives. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Yakubu Pam, gave the admonition as the Lagos State authorities suspended the planned airlifting of pilgrims in the state. Speaking at an orientation program for the intending pilgrims for the last batch of the Easter pilgrimage to Israel and Jordan, Palm said any pilgrim who engaged in any illegal act would be deported. He expressed optimism that the crisis in Israel would soon de-escalate and would afford the last batch of pilgrims the opportunity to visit Israel from Jordan. Now to the Red Chambers, where the Senate Committee Chairman on Solid Mineral Development, Ositangu, has disclosed that the upper legislative chamber is working on a legislative framework to address the challenges in the solid mineral industry. The head of Press Nigeria Mining Cadastre Office, Folashade Fatoke, revealed these in a statement to newsmen. According to the statement, Ngu commended the Nigerian Mining Cadastre Office, NCO, for migrating to an electronic mining cadastre in line with best practices during the recent familiarization visit to MCO. He also commended Director General of MCO, Obadiah Nkom, and his team for the continuous rise in its revenue profile since its inception. In education, the Minister of Education Tahir Maman has said that the government of President Bola Tinubu is interested in a stable academic calendar for tertiary institutions in the country. The minister also said that plans were ongoing to review the security architecture for schools in the country. Maman, who spoke during an event to mark the 60th anniversary of the Committee of Vice Chancellors in Abuja, noted that the government increased the salaries of workers in tertiary institutions as part of its commitment to increase welfare of the academic community. The minister challenged the committee to place Nigerian universities among global institutions that use science and technology as vehicles for solving their problems. Meanwhile, the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) has said it would continue to engage other critical stakeholders that ensure that unqualified graduates are not allowed into its mobilization process. The NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Wadi Ahmed, discloses in Abuja during the 2023 edition of the annual meeting of professional and regulatory bodies having operational links with the scheme. The DG, who oppressed the online application of a Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, noted that the scheme has mapped out strategies to redouble its effort in enforcing the acquisition of various professional certificates by graduates seeking exemption or participation in national service. Meanwhile, the Director, Corps Mobilization Department, Hajiya Walida Sadiq Isar, reiterated the scheme's commitment to the mobilization of only qualified graduates that could complete and compete with their counterparts everywhere in the world. In the meantime, the National Examination Council (NECO) has released the June and July 2023 Senior School Certificate Examination (SSCA) result, with 61.60% of students scoring 5 credits and above in English language and mathematics. The Registrar and Chief Executive Officer CEO Professor Dantani Oshishi met the announcement at NECO headquarters while briefing journalists in Minna, Niger State. Oshishi disclosed that a total of 1,205,888 students registered for the examination. When compared to the result of the 2022 SSCE of 60.74%, the 2023 SSCE showed a decrease of 0.86% in the number of candidates who scored 5 credits and above in the 2 subjects. Recall that in 2021, 71.64% obtained 5 credits in the major subjects, which is Maths and English. In a separate development, the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Bayelsa State says it will appeal the Federal High Court judgment disqualifying Temipre Silva, its candidate in the forthcoming governorship election. Recall that Justice Donatus Okorowo ruled that Silva, having been sworn in twice and served 5 years as governor of a state, would breach the 1999 Constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. But the party, in a statement today by its Director of Media and Publicity for the APC Bayelsa Governorship Campaign, Council Perry Tukaway, argued that the suit by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) was in breach of Electoral Act. And now to Africa, where polls have reportedly opened in downtown Masereto, which hosts Liberia's capital city of Monrovia, as the country elects a president for a 6-year tenure. Reports say voters have turned up in their numbers and some queuing since the early hours of the morning to enable them to vote. According to a report, the voting process is recorded by uppermost peace in the minds of food essentials. Goods for their survival is prohibited under the international humanitarian law. Recall that Israel said it was imposing a complete siege on the Palestinian territory in response to the large-scale Hamas attack that left around 900 people dead in the country and hundreds of people killed in Gaza in retaliatory strikes by the Israeli Air Force. Still to come in the news. NPFL warns clubs against time-wasting antics by Ball Boy. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Over now to our business news. On our business news, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has downgraded Nigeria's economic growth by 0.3 percentage points to 2.9% for 2023, following weaker oil and gas production. The IMF discloses in its new World Economic Outlook for October, themed Navigating Global Divergences. Recall that in July, the lender projected that Nigeria's economy would grow by 3.2% in 2023, predicted that growth in the country would be impacted by security issues in the oil sector. Commenting on its new predictions for the country, the Washington-based lender said growth in Nigeria is projected to decline from 3.3% in 2022 to 2.9% in 2023 and 3.1% in 2024, with negative effect of high inflation on consumption. And still in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has said that the e-Naira is being refined and adjusted in order to enhance the experiences of users across various platforms or systems. The CBN, in a statement signed by the bank spokesman Isa Abdul Mumin, said the goal is to make it easier for more convenient for people to use the e-Naira. The statement emphasized the importance of Nigeria's adapting the technology while stating that the e-Naira structure is evolving and undergoing modifications to improve the user experience. Recall that the CBN released a statement in response to news reports suggesting that the central bank digital currency CBDC e-Naira poses a threat to the country's financial stability. In health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) has called on health workers to maintain a high index of suspicion for diphtheria in the course of carrying out their duties. The Director General NCDC, Dr. Ifedaya Adetifa, gave the advice in an interview with newsmen in Abuja. Adetifa said there is a need for health workers to maintain a high index of suspicion for diphtheria to ensure early detection and treatment, most especially in affected state. The NCDC boss underscored the significance of early detection and prompt reporting of suspected cases to prevent further spread of the infection. Still in health, as the world marks World Mental Health Day today. The World Health Organization (WHO) said there is a need for the government to adopt legislative reforms to end coercion in mental health services and enshrine free and informed consent as the basis of all mental health-related interventions. The World Health Organization Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus said mental health is an integral and essential component of the right to health, and affirmed that the new guidance will support countries to make the changes needed to provide quality mental health care that assist the person recovery and respect their dignity. According to the WHO, there is a growing body of evidence that indicates how coercive practices negatively impact physical and mental health. Reports say World Mental Health Day is celebrated every year on October 10 to raise awareness about mental health around the world and to mobilize effort to support those experiencing mental health issues. And sport, the Nigeria Premier Football League and NPFL has warned of heavy sanctions against clubs that fail to reorientate their ball boys against their time wasting during matches. The NPFL issued a warning in a memorandum addressed to clubs today. A chief operating officer of NPFL, David Sonowomi, stated that the attention of the board has been drawn to the corruption of young boys into bad football practices. Still in sport, the Union of European Football Associations (UEFA) has confirmed that the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland will host the 2028 European Championship. Reports say the joint bid ran unopposed after Turkey withdrew to focus on a bid with Italy for Euro 2032, which was also confirmed at a meeting in Switzerland. The UK and Ireland focused on Euro 2028 with UEFA's approval. After having ended a plan to be Europe's preferred candidate for the 2030 World Cup. Meanwhile, the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland and Wales have never hosted a major football tournament. On our entertainment news, Nigerian singer-songwriter They oppressed him in the presence of his wife and 6-month-old daughter, stressing that he had a panic attack because of some health issues he is dealing with. He also said his producer was injured by the EFCC operatives taking to his X handle this morning. Scales said his life was under threat following his revelation of his ordeal in the hands of the EFCC operatives. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.